the main important site you need to always be keep open. And here you need to go to the learn, and here you will see like what are the topics or what are the things you are aware of things. Okay. Okay, fine. The very first thing is introduction to Node.js. Anyways, you can read yourself and see. This is not a simple thing. You can just copy paste and you can run it. But I don't want to go on that way, because before going to that way, I need to go with the simple other stuff as well. So this is how you need to install the Node.js in your machines. But if you still have a, I thought like already 9 classes are going on with the previous faculty, and I thought like you are already what install your Node.js in your machines. That is the reason I'm just going ahead. If you guys are having any issues in installing Node.js, please do let me know, so that I can help you in installing the Node.js self. Okay. So how much JavaScript you need to use in a, see, this is the topics I told you, like promises, async await closures, and event loop. So but definitely you need to know what is a closure and what is a event loop, what is async await, promises, timers, and the callbacks. Definitely please go with all this stuff. So difference between Node.js and a browser, as I mentioned already, if you are aware of, like basically Node.js is a completely on the server side. If you are talking about anything on the browser side, that will be talking as a client side. I mean, if you read about little bit about this one, I can say like whatever you are executing, everything on the client side based on the JavaScript side code. But remember one thing: when you are using a Node side, that means everything you are executing on the server side. Okay. I had the confusion classes in a JavaScript. Okay, okay, definitely we will go with those. No worries. Okay, okay. Hmm. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, so as you mentioned, like you have some confusion with the classes. If you are, I mean, I don't know how much you are aware of classes, but I'm just going with my flow. Like I want to explain you about the classes. And okay, so as usual, what I'm explaining you is I just go through developers like MDN. Okay, so whenever you go through the MDN, definitely you need to learn whatever the things are. Dira, you need to just mute yourself and unmute if you have any questions, please. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Fine. So there is a concept called a class. Okay. So what is this? Is this a class? No, 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 no. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Classes in a JavaScript. This is the part where you need to learn a little bit. Okay. Uh, See, before you are going for classes, first of all, you need to understand what is object oriented programming structure is. Okay. I'm not sure how much you are aware of the object oriented JavaScript, but definitely I need to talk a little bit concepts about this one. So those are simply called as oops. So in the oops concept, definitely what we will do is we will learn something like just a minute. Okay. So in OOPS concept, definitely what we will something learn about something called object-oriented programming principles. Starts with the class, and second one is object. Basically, these two are the major important concepts you need to learn. And next one something called inheritance. Okay. Don't go with any other topics like abstraction or there is a polymorphism. Lot of other stuff are there in other normal principles in object oriented programming structure. But here we don't need to learn anything about that, but only the thing is you need to understand what is a class, inheritance, and the object. Okay. So, what is basically inheritance? Inheritance in the sense you are acquiring the properties of the base class from the parent class to the child class. That is what we learn in our very childhood, right, Divyanshi? So now what you need to do is you need to understand what is inheritance. Basically, in the JavaScript, usually we used to do what it is called a single level inheritance and but before that, first of all, what you need to understand is what is a classes. Okay, fine. I will say something like student is my class. Okay. Okay. Now, inside the student class, what you will do? Basically, you need to see one class is nothing but a collection of some variables or member variables and the member functions. That is what we learn in the from our childhood, right? And then if you want to create any class, right, definitely what you need to do, you need to definitely use a keyword called a student. I mean, new keyword. Okay, new student. This is the way we are used to about to create a class. So for now, what I will do, like a class, let s equals to new student, right? But inside the class, what we will do, we will just create some what it is called a temporary variables or a member variables and the member functions in the class. Let's say I am declaring something like a serial number. Okay, so usually in a C we will use intent keyword. So basically we will use something called a letter serial number. Okay, and what it is called letter serial name. I mean student name. Okay, basically we used to do this one. Okay, this is how we used to create a class and all. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. On the top, we don't have anything, right? Basically, we need to declare a doc type, so then only it will accept that one. But that's fine. We can start writing the classes. Okay. Okay, now we have something called letter serial number and letter serial name, I mean student name and all. So basically what constructor will do? Constructor is nothing but the function which is having the same name of the class, and you will invoke this function or what it is called execute this function whenever the object is created to the class, right? So basically student is my function. Okay, this is nothing but a constructor. Okay, but if you go to the JavaScript classes, right? Now you need to understand what is a constructor and what. There is something called a keyword called a constructor. Okay, that is what we need to use. Okay, so first of all, you need to use something called a constructor. Okay, so I'm just copying here. There is a predefined keyword called a constructor. Okay, unlike in the Java, I mean, unlike in a Java or .NET or in other Python, basically the constructor is having the same name of the class. Instead of that, what we are using, we are just writing a something called a constructor. Okay, just simply put a constructor here, and basically what we will do here, whatever the variables you are passing to the constructor, that particular variables you need to pass. See, there is no such a rule that you need to pass a SNO and S name, but I suggest you to use the same name so that it will be easy for you to remember. But these are nothing but outside variables. Whatever the object is created, for example, you are sending something like a one here. Okay, and sending something like a balu here. Okay, so these are the variables which comes under here, but these are really not belongs to the class. If you want to make those things to belongs to the class, now what you need to do is, definitely you need to use something called a this keyword. Yes, to initialize, right? So this dot serial number, okay, equals to SNO. Somebody may ask like, sir, do we need to use SNO or something? No, no need of something like a just put a something like a number. Okay, that's fine. Just put a NO and assign that variable here, NO, something simple. Okay, similarly, this dot S name equals to name or something like a name. If you want to assign with a variable name, something like a name, just pass it as a name. That's it. Okay. Okay. Usually, in a JavaScript, whenever you are using something called a name, that will contract the existing variable name. So that is the reason. Like, I can put something like a stu name. Okay, that's a student name. Okay. So now copy this variable and just assign this value here. That's it. Okay. Now if you observe this one, right? This dot serial number. Okay. This dot serial name. So these are assigned to the current scope of the variables, whatever we are using here. Okay. Now, whatever the methods you want to use, just use something called a get serial number. Okay, or let me summarize that and just write it a common function that is nothing but a get details. So basically what get details will do, get details will send something like return, I want to display some name, something like this, some statement, something like my name is uh, okay, my name is something like with dollar number, with this one like this name. Okay, plus, okay, no need of plus, with student number or ID, with ID is dollar. Did you ever heard about the string literals? On the E6 concepts, we have something called string literals. If you are aware of these things, then that's fine. Otherwise, please do let me know. I will go through this ES6 concepts as well. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, if you can learn this ES6 concept, then it's really good. Okay, so this is what the function is. You will just display something or return some value. So this is what the example is, simple example. Okay, so now you need to understand what is I'm not going with the inheritance and all. I'm just going with the classes. Okay, simple Java with, I mean, classes in a JavaScript. In this okay, building blocks and constructor. So this is the where we declare the names and redeclare the names and calling the functions, and then simple. Okay, okay, even if it is not required with the names, I mean to select the JavaScript editor is showing throwing some errors and all, but okay, it is returning some value. Like what I will do, I will dot console.log, and we have created an object called yes. So yes dot get details is my method. Whenever it is printing something like this, I want to display something like my name is so and so and so so and so. Okay, so as per JavaScript, we don't need to declare any variable names inside the class. So basically when we are in a project, definitely you need to put either var or let or const and all, but definitely if it is not required, you can go ahead with this one. So Divesh, so okay. So here what is happening, right? So we have created an object for a student. I just call the serial number and name and pass the student number and the number to the constructor. Whenever you created that object, automatically these methods will be invoked. This method will be invoked, that constructor method. And whatever the values you are passing to the method, these will be assigned to your current scope of the variables like this dot serial number and this dot name. And whenever you are invoking the method or calling the method get details, these will return some string like my name is so and so and so with ID number so and so. I pass something like one Balu. So what I'm expecting is my name is Balu with ID number is a one. That is what I'm expecting it. So whenever you are putting something like a console log, obviously that return statement will come here. Obviously that return statement will come here. So what you need to do is simply node space file one dot js. Okay. So I'm sorry, you need to use this dot. Okay. So this dot serial number and this dot name. Basically, these are in under the this scope, right? So definitely you need to use this dot number and this dot scope. Okay. So my name is Balu with ID 7. Okay. This is how you can usually declare a variable or okay. Okay. So let's just give me 1 second, please. I think just terminating for Node.js and please text me your mail ID so with the Google Classroom link. Oh, okay. Fine. Divyansh, did I answer your question? This is how we need to declare the variables and all. But if you have any questions, please do let me know. Or anyone else, like if you are having any issues with the classes concept or something, please do let me know so that we can go ahead and we can discuss about it. Okay, clear. But see, this is the way we can create a student and all. For example, let's say we have something like a class, something like a subject or something. Okay, so class subject. So basically, if you want to do the inheritance, basically what you will do, you will have a something called extends. Okay, extends is a keyword which is used to declare or which is used to inherit any class from one parent class to another child class. So here, if you want to access any of the member variable, something like what it is called a subject details or something like this. Okay, so this is what my variable is. And if you want to go with the constructor, you can go with the constructor and have some value, something like if you want to pass the subject values. Okay, subject values. And if what you can do like something like a this dot subject values and all. uh, Basically whatever inheritance we are doing here, right, in a traditional object oriented programming, the same way we can do this one. Okay, and here it is a subject details, I'm sorry, it is subject details. Okay, so this is how we will do. And definitely whatever the functions we are using here, let's say in the constructor, if you want to invoke the base class parameters like a number, student number and a name. So basically what we will do is we'll just copy these parameters here, enter this constructor, we will pass this constructor something like this, and basically whenever you are calling base class constructor, we will use something called a super. Super is a keyword which is used to pass the parameters or call the base class base class constructor here. So whenever you are creating an object, you should not definitely create an object for the student. You should create an object for the subject. So here you need to pass three parameters: one comma value comma something like a CSC. Let's say whatever it is. Okay. So whenever you create a class for the constructor, so you pass the three parameters. The first parameter will invoke the base class parameters, and the other parameter will go to the uh, child class parameter. Okay. From there, you need to again define another function called a get details, and here you will to return or something called super keyword by using super dot get details of a base class. This is a common like everywhere whatever we are doing in a traditional object oriented method, right? The same way this will work. Okay, there is no issue on that. I hope everyone is clear with this inheritance concept. I mean, just go with some examples. Don't go and search for different resources and all. Definitely, whatever we are using in MDN, that is more than enough to understand how the constructors will work and how the private methods will work and blah blah blah. Okay, so if you are okay, then what we will do, we'll go with some other things. Okay. Mm. Okay, fine. I may not have enough time, but you guys tell me like, what are the concepts if somebody wants to know, or if somebody having any doubts or something on a particular concept. Nothing. So everybody knows everything. Seriously? Can I go with some questions or something if you are okay? I mean to say like if you guys are good and knows everything, then we can go with some questions or something, right? Why people are not even responding? Don't know, need practice to understand this. Okay, closer. Okay, great. Okay, basically, what closer is like, okay, just a minute. Let me hop or comment on this concept. Okay, okay. So great. So basically, what is a closer is? Okay. So basically, what is a closer is? Anybody can reply to this question like, what is a closer is? Veera? No. Okay, fine. Basically, what is a closer is? Let's say you have some parent function, and inside that you are having another function. Basically what JavaScript will work. So JavaScript is having some kind of what it is called, if you are defining a function, you can define another function inside the JavaScript, and you can return some value from the parent function, and the child function is having, or parent function will having the particular scope of the child function. For example, let me declare some function like something like a parent is my function. Okay, so I mean you can give any names, so I'm just giving something like a parent. Okay, here something like I'm having something like let us some or let a equals to 10. Okay, now what I will do, to the parent function I will pass some value, something like a b. Okay. See, this scope of b is only for the parent, and scope of a is also a parent. I agree, but this is only applicable for the parent. Okay. Now I'm moving this function a or the variable particular a inside another function. So let's say function child. Okay, inside the child, what you will do, you will pass this let a. I mean, to say like you will declare a variable called a inside the child. Okay, okay. So if you observe this one, the scope of the B is basically, you know what is the scope, right? The scope in the sense the function variable, whatever the variable you declared B, the scope of the particular variable inside this function, but definitely it will not include the function child A. or child function. Okay, so what I will do is I will something called I will returning this child with something like this value, return a plus b. Okay, if you observe this one, now I have a function parent here. A is not available outside of child, right? A should not be available outside of A. But what we are doing is we are passing a function only or variable which is called a b to the parent, but definitely that will accessible from the A. I mean to select A will be accessible from the parent as well. Okay, this is what the magic of the JavaScript. Okay, now what I will do, I will say let s equals to something like a parent of something like a 5. Usually whenever you are passing the parent of 5, see, I'm just dumping this value, I'm not doing anything, some s and I mean to select, I'm just trying to display what is the value of s. So whenever you are calling s, you can easily know that the value of s is nothing but a function of the child, what is the declared inside the child. That is like a equals to 10 and a plus b is my value. Okay, okay, now let's see. I mean, I'm not executing that one, I'm just trying to see what is the value of this one. Okay, I didn't save this, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just saving this one, I'm just trying to execute this. Okay, did you observe this one? The function child will come, but whenever I try to execute this function, see, if you want to invoke any function, definitely you need to put one open half moon bracket and close half moon bracket. That is what we learn from our childhood, basically from C and C++ or something. If you observe this one, right, the parent of A should not know the value of a A here. Definitely. Why? Because the scope of the A is only up to this block, right? Only up to this block. But whenever you're calling the function B, the value you're passing B with the sum of these values and passing and assigning to the S. So you are completely assigning to the entire function. Inside the function, you definitely, the value of A should not be available on the outer world of the parent or outer world of the child. But the basic meaning of the closure is if any variable which is declared inside the child or the parent should be available to the parent and the child. Okay. Now let's see what is the value if I keep it here. Okay. So basically people can ask like, okay, he says something like A is not available out of the cell. Yes, but I'm able to access this one because the parent is able to access all the inner functions of its, I mean, functions, values and all. Now what I did, I just kept one variable out of the child. Definitely this is belongs to only parent, it should not be belongs to any outer world. But now what I did, I passed the function and this function is returning a plus b value. Now the scope of the variable A is only inside the parent but definitely not belongs to the child. And now see what is happening out here. Still I'm able to access the value of the A out of the parent world or out of the child world. That means this is returning a function. Whenever it is returning a function, obviously if you are passing a B, that pass you can pass to B here. But if you don't know the value of A, definitely we don't know what is the value of A because the A is only defined inside the parent function but not inside the child function. But whenever you are trying to invoke the function, yes, by passing of a parent value, it is written in some function and having the scope of the value. So that is what the meaning of closure. The closure is nothing but the scope of the parent scope can be accessed from the child scope. That is what the use of the closure. Definitely people may ask like where we are using. Definitely are we using any in a real time? What is this closure and all? Yes, we are using a lot of scenarios here. Why? Because basically in a Node.js, what you will do, you will call one function from the client. I mean to select from the front end. Whenever the request comes up to the middleware, you will call one function. Basically, that function is here. This one. Let's say the parent is the function, and inside that, what we will do, whatever the variables you are declare, you are passing the variables into the REST endpoint. Let's say there is a API key is there, or else what it is like the scope of the variable. I mean, it is like anything. The API key, sometimes it's a secret key for authentication authorization purpose. Let's say if you want to append any values while you are sending to the REST endpoint, by that time you will declare some variables. But when you are returning some promises here, by that time, what will happen? You will return some promise. That promise have the scope of the particular variable. So in that cases, definitely all the clauses will be used. Okay. Guys, any questions? Please feel free to ask. Okay, sir. Divyamshi Shahu. Okay. Reduce. Okay. Okay. Why only one guy is speaking here? Others are not available or not? Hello. Available, sir. Then why others are not speaking? Sorry, sir. I'm confused. Many things. Event club. Oh, a lot of things are there. Then it's great. Okay. Now it is time to uh, go with a little stuff. Just a minute. I'm not sure. Maybe 7:30. I'm really running out of the time. I will definitely answer your questions. Don't worry. Definitely, I will come up with each and everyone's questions and I will answer your questions. Give me 1 minute. Actually, today it may not possible. It is 7:35. But uh, what is that? My drive. Okay. Here we are going with the Node.js training. Okay. Session 1 and 2. Okay. Did you guys ever access this page and see that like what we have and all? Event loop. Divyansh, I will definitely go with your concepts, but definitely not today because I just try to understand for today it is not, but definitely I will come up. Okay, Sandeep, right? Sandeep, and what is Divyansh? You asked like reduce. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, what my thing is like, okay, anyone with the link with the editor, okay, that means copy link and done. See, now you guys are able to add your questions here. Okay, feel free to add your questions. Any question is fine. We will discuss about this one. Okay, I will just put everyone in the meeting. Try to access the link and see whether you are able to access and try to add your questions or not. Okay, Divyansh, if you want to go with the reduce function, first of all, you need to understand what is a map, what is a filter, and what is then it's a reduce. Okay, we will come up with these things. Okay, and Sandeep is asking about the event loop. Okay, event loop is there in two places. One is a JS and next one is a Node. Okay, I will go with both the things. Okay, fine. Uh, just add your questions, please. Can you guys please try to add here and I mean access this one and try to see like whether you are able to access this or not. Anybody, when you are in front of your system, please do map filter. I use many times, but reduce is issue for me. Okay, I will. We will discuss this. One. Don't worry. Okay, definitely we will discuss this. Oh, no need to sorry, man. You are here to learn the things, right? So no issues. Amazon, sorry, anonymous glycerin. He is somebody who is this wants to add something. Okay, people are able to see some this, but please let me know once you are type something so and see like whether you are able to access this one or not. Yes. Map filter. Okay. Okay. Everybody is able to access. That is what I saw here. Okay. So I will go with a very simple, very simple question. Okay. Just for today. I mean to say like I will go with the very simple questions and I will ask you. Basically, I will just comment out this one. See. Okay. Great. I'll go with a very simple question and I will quickly close this one. Okay, close the session. Okay. Let's say, did you ever heard about typecasting or typecasting? Did you ever heard about a typecasting or converting one data type to another data type? This is what called the typecasting. Basically, if you have some predefined classes. See, why I'm going with the classes and all. Basically, this is the predefined class what we have discussed today. That is nothing but I mean, just like user defined class, something like a student. Similarly, there are lot of predefined classes in the JavaScript. Something like, for example, let's say there is a boolean. Okay, boolean is my class. Okay, boolean is a predefined class. Okay, now what I will do, I will just put something like a false here. Okay, the same way I will put something like a, oops, sorry, boolean of false. Okay. Now you guys in TypeScript I used. Okay, great, super. So now tell me what is output of this one and what is output of this one. Guys, please respond for next 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. I won't waste your time. Just give me an answer for boolean of single quotes of false, boolean of false. What you are expecting here. Okay, fine. If nobody is ready to answer, then definitely I will go here. See, first of all, I always told you about this one, right? Okay, so go to the Boolean constructor. Okay, so Boolean is a class where object represents the truth or false values. So if you observe this one, right? Whenever Boolean of expression, it will return that value. For converting a non-Boolean values to the Boolean, use Boolean as a function or use the double not operator. Do not use a Boolean constructor with a new. Definitely don't use a new keyword with a Boolean class. Instead of that, you can use something like a just simply use a Boolean expression. Okay. Now, what is happening over here? Okay. Now, if you observe this one, right? Okay, Tejashni false. Is it for the first one, second one? I don't know. Okay, so let me run this code. But before running this code, first of all, let me tell you. So Boolean class will return either true or false based on the expression whatever you are passing inside the variable. Okay, so if you are sending some value like a false, but it is in a single quotes, that must be obviously a string. So definitely it is a true, right? Exactly, Divyansh, you are correct. So next one, Boolean, if you are sending some variable inside the Boolean class, and it will check whether it is a possible to convert into the Boolean or not. If it is possible, then it is a true. It will a true. So now what I will do, okay. So it is a possible to convert, and it will return some true value. Why? Because there is some string. You don't know whether it is a true or false or Balu or ABC or you don't know. Definitely that is a string. It is possible to convert. So that is the reason it is returning a true. And whenever obviously you are returning a false value, Boolean of false is always a false. And one more last question. Console.log, let's say you are using a predefined class called a number and number of something like a 1 and console.log, let's say if you are passing something like a number of, you are passing some string, something like a number and console.log, if you are passing something like a number class with a null value. Okay. Just guess the answer. What is the output of for these three questions? I mean, three console log statements. One in a single true, true, and false. Seriously. Okay. Uh, can somebody guess anything else? Rajesh is the only person who answered here. Is anyone else? So every individual class in a JavaScript one will work in a different way. I mean to say, like for their own purpose. If you are writing something about a Boolean, Boolean is the purpose. I mean, the Boolean class purpose is to check whether the value is really a true or false. Okay. But whenever you are using a number class, okay, Sandeep, great. You answered like one true, undefined, and Divyanshu one and nine, not a number. Tejashi one true, false. Okay, great. So now let me tell you in this way. For example, what number class will do? It will check first whether it that particular value, whatever you are passing to the number class, Okay, and create it. See, basically what it is, simply if you can observe this one, right? You are invoking a class and passing some parameter here. So the constructor inside the number class will check whether it can be able to convert to the number data type or not. Okay. If you are passing a one here, so one is a really a value which we can convert it to the number. So definitely that will return some value. It's like a one. And let's say if you are passing some string here, okay, forget about a number. Let's say you put something like a value here. Okay, let's say, but definitely whatever the string you are passing a part of the number or digits, whatever the value, definitely JavaScript engine really don't know how to convert it into the number. So definitely it will define some value. I mean, return some value like a, not a number. Okay, somebody told this one like Divyanshu. That's correct, not a number. Okay, now whatever the falsy values, either it is a false or null or undefined or anything, conversion is really not possible. So, but it is a absolute values. I mean to say like it's really a possible values in the JavaScript, but definitely there is not having a real value for those one. So they will return a zero. Okay, that is what I am expecting. Let's see. Save. How? Okay. Uh, First to true and false, leave that one. One, not a number, and a zero. Clear? That's it. That's it for today. Definitely we will meet again, and just try to add your questions here. I mean, I have already given access for that for you. So go ahead and add your questions, whatever you want. Just add your name and whatever you want to know more. Just mention here, so that for the in further classes we will definitely discuss about those things. Okay, I'm stopping recording here, but yeah, no, guys, if it is possible, I just given